So our final project for 548 is going to be our unit plan. For this unit plan, you're going to be creating a 10-day unit plan to support a class of transitioning intermediate students at the grade level of your choice. You can change the timing to fit your needs, maybe a 7.5-day block schedule. It needs to be unique to our class, meaning you can't use one you've previously created, and has to really focus on developing both literacy and language skills. Remember, we're language teachers. We teach language through content, so our standards have to align with content standards and with language standards. You can pick the topic, but make sure we're developing literacy and language. So for further information, we're going to pop over to Canvas. We're going to go to our modules. And the weeks on the syllabus that the unit plan is referenced will also be in that week. But if you need to just get to the unit plan, you can come down here to Assignment Pages and click Unit Plan. So for the detailed directions about our unit plan, we click here. So you're going to need to align to at least 2 new language arts standards, and you can pick from different sections, and at least 1 performance indicator of a content standard at the grade level of your choice. So look at your Common Core learning standards and make sure it aligns. You're going to write an overall unit plan template, which I've given you, that's going to include your unit objectives, your standards, and your explanations. Reference page needs to be included with any materials you use. You can use books and videos and sources from that other people have created. You're welcome to do that, but you just have to give them credit for it. You're going to write a lesson plan for each of the day. Now, if you have a 2-day project that the students are going to engage in, you can combine that lesson plan. You don't have to copy it twice. You can say day 5 and 6, students are going to be working on this project and do the lesson plan. You need to submit all supporting materials. So if you find a video, make sure you're including the link. If you find a book that you want to include, obviously you don't have to scan the entire book, but make sure the title and everything is there. Worksheets, anything you're going to use. Activities at some point in the unit plan need to help develop all 4 language situations. So you need to have listening activities, reading activities, writing activities, and speaking activities. You also need to make sure you're focusing on literacy growth. So the content should be taught through, or language skills should be taught through content. Now you're going to have to assess the content and NLA standards that you've addressed in this unit. Your assessments can be various. I would prefer if it's alternative assessments, if they're using self-assessments and peer assessments and projects, and let your imagination kind of go wild, because you don't actually have to implement this with students, so you can really make it a dream unit plan. Make sure you focus on providing valuable feedback to both yourself as the teacher and the students about what learning has occurred in this unit plan. That's probably the number 1 piece of feedback I give about assessments. If a student participates in an assessment, what feedback about their own learning are they receiving? So that should be detailed in your explanation. And then at the end, you're going to write a 2 to 3 page justification. Why did you create this unit plan the way you did? What in our whole semester of readings and in other readings you've done grounds this unit plan in best practices? Why is it organized the way it is, etc. So here's our rubric. Make sure you're applying a wide variety of concepts and research and best practice. You align the standards, objectives, and assessments. The objectives are a measurable goal, insightful rationale. You're incorporating all the language, cultural, literacy skills in various ways. You're using resources and technology effective. A unit plan where students are just sitting by themselves reading and then do a worksheet is not an engaging unit plan. They need to be manipulating, developing communicative competence, using the language in their literacy skills. You need to have a language proficiency assessment, show us and the students what they've learned. And a classroom-based assessment. This can be combined, so the content assessment and the language assessment can be one thing. You just have to make sure that the feedback you can pull out of that assessment can give you the right ideas for both the content information and the language information. So make sure you address all aspects of the task and you're using a professional voice. So here's the outline. It gives you exactly what you need to include, as well as the daily lesson plan outline. Now if we go back to Canvas, we have an example unit plan here. Now this, make sure to recognize this was for a different course. This was for an assessment course. So her requirements are different than your requirements. But Vanessa did such a wonderful job in organizing her materials. Everything is well laid out. So I just want you to be able to see just a really well laid out unit plan. She has links to everything. It's great. And you're going to be housing your unit plan on Google Docs. So when you go to submit it, you're going to submit your web URL here. Okay? Let me know if you have any questions.